We bought the house because of the attic, high ceilings, exposed beams, endless possibilities, the listing said. On our second day of renovations, the hammer struck hollow. A section of wall clanged. We pried off a board and peered inside. Dust motes swirled in the shaft of light. A small wooden box sat on a beam. Carved flowers on the lid. A tiny silver crank. I wound it without thinking. The box played a slow, tinkling melody. I didn't recognize the tune. As it played, the air in the attic cooled. A shadow crossed the far wall. I turned. No one was there. The song finished on a high note. That night, lying in bed, I heard the music again, faint coming through the vents. I went upstairs. The box was open. The crank moved on its own. In the corner of the attic, shapes flickered, like old film clips projected onto plaster. A woman in a 1950s dress sitting by the window. A little boy chasing a paper airplane down the hall. An older man hammering boards. They faded when the melody ended. I told my spouse, maybe it's a memory box. They joked. The next day, during lunch, the music played on its own again. We followed it down the stairs. In the kitchen, the air shimmered. A woman leaned over our sink, scrubbing dishes. A man stood behind her, shouting silently. Her shoulders shook. I reached out. My hand passed through cold air. The music stopped. The woman vanished. On the table, a note had appeared in spidery handwriting. Finish the song. We tried to ignore the box. We hid it in the closet. The song still played at random. With each repetition, the images grew sharper. Children in 1970s bell-bottoms running through our living room. An elderly couple eating soup by our fireplace. A young woman weeping in the stairwell. The scenes weren't always kind. One night we woke to the smell of smoke and the music box's melody. Frantic. In the hall, we saw a man in a singed shirt trying to open a window that wouldn't budge. His face contorted in panic. Flames licked the wallpaper. We clutched each other as the vision burned around us without heat. The tune slowed. The man looked at us. Help, he mouthed. The song ended. Darkness returned. We decided to bury the box. We dug a hole in the backyard, 6 feet down. We lowered the box in. We covered it with earth. The next morning, it sat back on the kitchen table. A new note lay beside it. Please finish. I wound the crank until I felt resistance. The song played from the beginning. This time, I kept winding, forcing it past where it usually stopped. The melody warped, discordant. A final high note pierced the air. The box clicked. Inside, a small compartment sprang open. A folded paper sat within. October 31st, 1958, was scrawled at the top. The house is ours. The fire is ours. The song was never finished. If you wind it, you will see us. But if you complete it, will we see you? The writing faded as we read. That night, the music didn't play. The house felt still, as if it had exhaled. We slept deeply for the first time since moving in. In the morning, while making coffee, I heard a faint, familiar tune. But it wasn't coming from the box. It was coming from the walls, deep and slow. And I swear, Between the notes, a voice I didn't recognize whispered along, "Thank you," or "We'll be waiting."